I think there's a lot of excitement more than there is anything else. I think like in any given situation there will be some apprehension, a little bit of nerves. I know for me it's been over a year. For guys like Bo it's been like 3 years. So I think there's a little bit of nerves, but overall we're just excited to come out and host one at Lockwood for the first time and just kind of get it out of the way, and hopefully good results come and we can build on it from there.
What do you think it'll be like when you're in a competition setting? I mean, this last year you spent so much time working out and getting your bodies right and working on your events, but you haven't had the competition setting. What do you think that feeling will be like?
I think it'll feel good. I mean, everybody obviously loves to compete. That's why we're college athletes. So I think we all crave it to a certain extent. You can work and practice as hard as you want, but there's something about competition that just really brings out the best in most of us, and so I think we're all really looking forward to the competitive element of track meets.
It's your 4th year in the Yellowjacket program. You've had a lot of really awesome moments, a conference champion multiple times over. What's this experience been like for you?
It's been, everything for me. It's really shaped who I am as a person. Like, coming from a small town, I was never a standout athlete. I was never a good athlete either. I just was athletic-ish, and so it's been a big deal for me to come here and to find an identity and to have people who showed me how to work hard and how to work smart and how to set your mind on something, and it just shows that you can really do anything you put your mind to, and that's been really a transformative thing for me. It's changed who I am as a person completely.
A special group of upperclassmen, particularly on the men's side. I mean, you've got guys that you've been here with for most of your career, Rocky Iyer, Isaiah Gerard, Forrest Cross, Bo Ackerman, the list goes on. And you guys have had a lot of success both individually and as part of the team. What's that dynamic like with that leadership group?
It's fun. I mean, we obviously are all good friends. I've gone on vacations with Isaiah and with Forrest. I've known Bo for 6 years since we were both true freshmen in Dickinson. So it's fun to have like the transformation from being 18-year-old kids to being, mid 20-year-old adults. It's fun to see us grow from just people new to it to people who are leading the younger kids now. It's been fun to watch that, and it's been fun to experience it for me as well.
Talk about that a little bit in terms of like what you'd like to leave for the younger athletes. Now that you have that perspective of being here for 4 years, how do you hope that your leadership role reflects on them?
Sure. When I was a freshman in Dickinson, I was largely ignored, it felt like, and that was fine because it's an individual sport and you just go and you do your thing. But I think it's important for me to be there for them so that they can look back on it fondly, and they can see somebody who shows up and works hard and isn't really a fantastic, outstanding athlete, and they can model kind of after that, and it can show them if they want to put their minds to it, they'll be able to achieve whatever they want if they're willing to really go out of their way for it. And so I think it's important to me just to leave my mark that way. I think I've had my time as an athlete, I've done well as an athlete, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished, but there's been just kind of a shift in perspective where my focus is now more on being a coach, being a leader, being there for them. I think it's more about others than it is about myself at this point.
It'll be an exciting spring, a busy spring, a lot of meets here in the outdoor season. It's your last one. So what do you hope to see out of yourself, out of the team? You'll get one more GNAC championship opportunity as well down the road, but a handful of meets. It's got to be exciting.
It is exciting, yeah. I really look forward to it. I used to be a guy who really sets goals based on I want to run this time at this meet and this time at this meet, and now I'm just kind of at a point where the most important thing for me is to soak up the atmosphere and kind of enjoy being with my friends and enjoy being a leader and competing as an athlete. No matter what the times end up being, I'm just happy to be part of it still, and I want to just go out on a good note and feel like I really put myself into it so I can look back and see that I did the right thing.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's super excited. It's been so long that we've got to compete, and a lot of the freshmen on the team they get to experience their first outdoor meet. So I think it'll be really fun to really get after it and what we've been doing, working so hard towards we finally get a show. So
you guys have practiced a lot, worked out a lot. There's only so much you can do practice-wise to substitute for competition that you haven't had. How have you guys tried to stay excited about competing?
We just we have a great attitude on the team. We have a great throw squad specifically. I don't get to work out with the rest of the team a whole lot, but we lift 3 times a week and practice 5 days a week. We have just such a good dynamic, and it makes it easy to want to come to practice and compete, get ready to compete.
Talk about that dynamic a little bit, particularly being a senior, and there's so many young throwers on the team, especially on the women's side. What's that been like, seeing the new faces on the team?
Yeah, I feel like it's been really good. They all have great attitudes. They're all doing so well, and just seeing their progress from the beginning of the year to now is phenomenal. And me and Forrest can both tell for that. It's been great, and everything they're doing is really going to prepare them well for outdoor competition.
Yeah, and they actually did get to do one indoor meet. You got to watch them there. How much do you think that helped, and how do you think that'll help the team getting ready for outdoor?
I think just being in that situation and getting to compete and actually feel what competition in a collegiate level feels like, and getting to experience that before going into an outdoor meet is a little bit more relaxed for them. They don't have as many nerves going into it, but I think it'll be really exciting.
5th year in the program here at MSUB. What has it all been like? How do you reflect back on your experience here?
It really has been an amazing time. I have been thankful for all the relationships I've gained through track, and it gives you a sort of schedule to live by and keeps you accountable, and it's just really been a good time.
And what do you think it'll be like this weekend? It's the start of a busy outdoor season. You guys will have a handful of meets. You'll get to compete in the GNAC championships down the road. What do you expect to see from yourself, and how do you build throughout the spring?
I'm super excited to finally get to compete again. It's been 2 years, like you said, and I think that just getting back into the swing of things and being able to compete will really help us going into conference in a couple months. So.
Yeah, they're very excited to be able to get back out there and compete, and it'll be at a facility that's brand new and never even hosted a meet before.
Yeah, so talk about the mindset of the team, just a long layoff. It's been so much to overcome over the last year. What have they been working on to try and be ready to go?
Well, it definitely helped that we were able to have our indoor track meet about a month ago, kind of see where we're at, and then we've used that to kind of target our training over the last month to make sure that we're going to be better prepared going into this first outdoor meet.
Yeah, a lot of newcomers on the team this year, both on the men's side and the women's side. And like you said, you had that indoor meet. Why was that a good chance to see some of those newcomers and get some marks established?
Yeah, with relays and all that stuff, we had no idea. We had a general idea, but it'd been a long layoff, especially for like our high school seniors, our freshmen this year. They hadn't competed since they were juniors, so really just being able to get them back out there and get an idea of like, okay, this is where we're at, and then continuing to improve week to week.
And some of your distance runners were some of your top performers at that indoor meet. I know it was especially tough for them because their fall season, obviously with cross country, they were expecting to compete, didn't get that chance. Talk about them getting able to run and doing pretty well.
Yeah, it was fun to see them, compete again. And really our 1200 legs on both the DMRs with Kaylee and Logan, they both ran great, and have us really excited for both of them and really the entire group headed into the spring.
And you do have a lot of new faces this year, but there's that strong core of kind of senior returners, a lot of people who are back, and this is really it for them. This is their last outdoor season. Talk about that group a little bit and the experience you have.
Yeah, because most of that group, they would have been my very first recruiting class, and it's been fun to kind of go on this journey with them and see them grow as athletes and people, and now they're getting ready to go out and find a job. A lot of them have done student teaching and stuff this past year, or they're going to be doing it this next fall.
Highlight a couple of them. First on the men's side, Mason Schram. He's been here for 4 years and really been a big part of a lot of things. A relay team. He's a GNAC champion. Talk about what he's done for this program.
Yeah, it's great to have Mason. I mean, it's almost like having a coach on the team. Him being able to work with the sprinters, fine-tune their block starts. He's done a great job, and then it's just been fun. Like this year, we've been working together really well, and I'm excited to see him, hopefully set some new PRs this spring.
And on the women's side, within the throws group, you have a lot of new faces, and they've really relied on Taylor Stringari and some of the senior leaders. But talk about Taylor and what she's meant. Similar to Mason, been here for 4 years.
Yeah, Taylor's been great. Yeah, because like you said, I think every other women's thrower that we have is freshman. So she's been our leader of that group, really a leader for the entire throws group. And we were kind of bummed that she's out of indoor eligibility, because I really thought that seeing her weight throw in practice, she was throwing some bombs there. So we're excited to get her outside, see her throw the hammer and her other events, and really set some PRs and maybe get close to some school records.
It'll be a busy spring for you guys. Several outdoor meets on the calendar, but your first one is at home, the Yellowjacket Invitational. What are your expectations this week out of the team in the first outdoor meet?
I think, really the expectation that I've kind of had, when we went to the Black Hills State meet was just kind of, hey, let's see where we're at. And now that we've had that meet under our belt, we're just going to try and keep improving week to week. So we want to do better than we did a month ago, and then, we'll get lots of opportunities, hopefully the rest of the season, about every Saturday.